On the night of May 3rd, 2007, a mother walked into a holiday apartment in southern Portugal and discovered something so horrifying that for years afterward, people would replay the moment in their minds like a scene from a nightmare. The bedroom window was open, the shutters had been lifted, and 3-year-old Madeleine McCann was gone. What followed would become one of the most infamous missing child investigations in modern history. A case filled with global media obsession, conflicting timelines, suspicious sightings, alleged predators, internet conspiracies, devastated parents, and one haunting question that still refuses to disappear. What happened to Madeleine McCann? The Algarve coast in Praia da Luz was supposed to be paradise. The resort town was quiet, sun-soaked, and lined with whitewashed buildings overlooking the Atlantic Ocean. British families flocked there every year for warm weather, seafood dinners, and peaceful evenings. It felt safe. Too safe for something terrible to happen. That spring, Kate and Gerry McCann arrived with their 3 children, twins Sean and Amelie, just 2 years old, and Madeleine, their bright-eyed oldest daughter. Madeleine was the kind of child strangers remembered instantly. Blonde hair cut in a bob, pale skin, large green-blue eyes, one marked by a dark coloboma defect in the iris that made her appearance unmistakable. She loved books, cartoons, and cuddling with her younger siblings. Friends described her as intelligent and unusually gentle for her age. Kate and Gerry were respected doctors from Leicester, educated, calm, responsible. The sort of parents nobody imagined would ever be connected to scandal or suspicion. They were vacationing with a group of friends known later as the Tapas 7, named after the nearby restaurant where they ate dinner each night. The group had developed what seemed like a practical routine. Each evening, after putting the children to bed around 8 p.m., the adults would walk to the tapas restaurant roughly 50 meters away and take turns checking on the sleeping children every 20 to 30 minutes. To them, it felt safe enough. To critics later, it sounded reckless. But on that warm Thursday night, nobody at the table realized their lives were about to fracture permanently. At approximately 5:30 p.m., Madeleine was seen playing tennis with her family. Later, during dinner preparations, she reportedly asked her mother a strange question. "Why didn't you come when Sean and I cried last night?" Kate would later describe feeling chilled by the comment. Had someone already been watching the apartment? Or was it simply the random remark of a child? By 8:30 p.m., the children had been put to bed in apartment 5A, a ground floor rental near the resort pool area. The McCanns joined their friends at the tapas restaurant. Witnesses later reconstructed the evening with obsessive detail. 9:05 p.m. Gerry McCann checked the apartment and claimed everything appeared normal. 9:15 p.m. A British tourist named Jane Tanner reported seeing a man carrying a child through the streets near the resort. The child appeared asleep, dressed in pale pajamas. At the time, nobody thought much of it. Years later, that image would become one of the most analyzed sightings in criminal history. 9:30 p.m. Another friend performed a check, but allegedly only listened at the bedroom door instead of entering fully. Then came 10 p.m. Kate McCann entered the apartment. The twins were asleep, but Madeleine's bed was empty. At first, Kate reportedly thought Madeleine had wandered off. Then she noticed the open window. The room suddenly felt wrong, cold, silent. Kate ran back toward the restaurant screaming, "They've taken her!" Not "she's missing," not "I can't find her." They've taken her. That sentence would later fuel years of suspicion. Why was Kate immediately certain of abduction? Some investigators would become obsessed with that question. Within minutes, the resort exploded into chaos. Tourists searched alleyways with flashlights. Staff checked pools, rooftops, dumpsters, and nearby streets. Police were called, But from the beginning, critical mistakes were made. Potential evidence became contaminated as dozens of people walked through the apartment. Fingerprints were smudged. The crime scene wasn't sealed quickly. Witness statements became tangled and contradictory. Portuguese police initially treated the case as a missing child incident rather than a sophisticated abduction. Those early hours mattered, and many believed they were disastrously mishandled. News spread rapidly across Europe. A little British girl had vanished from a holiday resort. By morning, television crews had arrived. Within days, Madeleine McCann's face was everywhere. The case exploded into a global phenomenon unlike almost any missing person case before it. Major celebrities appealed for information. Soccer players held posters before televised matches. The Pope personally met with the McCanns. International media followed every movement of the family. But the attention came with a dark side. The internet became flooded with speculation. Some believed Madeleine had been abducted by a trafficking ring. Others suspected a predator targeting tourists. And then a far more disturbing theory emerged. What if the parents were involved? Portuguese authorities began examining inconsistencies in witness statements. Timelines didn't perfectly align. The checks on the apartment seemed irregular. Questions emerged about whether Madeleine had truly been alive at the time the parents claimed. Investigators became increasingly suspicious of the McCanns' emotional behavior. Kate appeared controlled during interviews. Jerry sometimes smiled nervously under pressure. To grieving parents, this meant nothing. To suspicious observers, it meant everything. Then came the forensic evidence. British cadaver dogs brought into the apartment allegedly detected the scent of death behind the sofa and inside a rental car the McCanns hired weeks later. One dog trained to detect blood also alerted investigators. The discoveries ignited an international firestorm. Headlines implied the parents may have accidentally killed Madeleine and hidden her body. Some theories suggested she died from an overdose of sedatives. Others imagined a tragic accident followed by a cover-up. The media frenzy became brutal. Every facial expression was dissected, every interview analyzed, every inconsistency weaponized. Kate McCann later described feeling as though the world wanted them to be guilty. And for a time, Portuguese police officially named them arguidos, formal suspects. The shift devastated the family. Instead of parents searching for their daughter, they became targets. Meanwhile, Praia da Luz changed completely. Locals locked doors for the first time in years. Parents stopped letting children walk alone. Tourism dropped. Residents grew resentful of journalists swarming the town. Rumors spread everywhere. Some believed Madeleine had been taken by a wealthy predator operating across Europe. Others whispered about organ trafficking networks. Certain residents became amateur detectives, chasing suspicious vehicles and strangers. The fear was psychological as much as physical, because if a child could disappear from a holiday apartment in a peaceful resort town, then nowhere felt safe anymore. As investigators dug deeper, multiple suspicious sightings surfaced. Witnesses described men loitering near the apartments days before Madeleine vanished. Some allegedly knocked on doors asking for donations. Others appeared to observe families with children. A man named Robert Mourão, a British-Portuguese property consultant living nearby, drew immediate attention. He inserted himself into the investigation early, offering translation assistance to police and journalists. Some reporters found his behavior odd. Soon, Mourão became an official suspect. His house was searched, his computers examined, his movements scrutinized. But investigators found no direct evidence linking him to Madeleine's disappearance. Years later, he would receive payouts after suing newspapers for defamation. Still, public suspicion never fully disappeared. One of the most important moments in the case centered on Jane Tanner's account of seeing a man carrying a child at 9:15 p.m. Police worked obsessively to identify him. A sketch was released. then another. The image haunted the public imagination. Was this Madeleine's abductor? For years, investigators believed so. Then came an astonishing twist. The man was eventually identified as an innocent tourist, carrying his own daughter home from a creche. One of the investigation's biggest leads collapsed instantly. It was a devastating setback. And yet, another witness soon emerged. An Irish family named the Smiths reported seeing a man carrying a sleeping child around 10 p.m. near the beach. Unlike Tanner's sighting, this account remained deeply unsettling. The child reportedly resembled Madeleine, and the man's appearance reminded some witnesses of Gerry McCann himself. That detail triggered another wave of suspicion. Could Gerry have been transporting Madeleine's body, or was the resemblance coincidental? Theories spiraled endlessly. The case became less about facts and more about interpretation. Every clue seemed capable of supporting completely opposite conclusions. As years passed, the McCanns lived inside permanent grief. Their daughter's bedroom remained untouched. Birthdays became agonizing public reminders. Kate admitted she could barely sleep. Gerry threw himself into campaigning efforts and media appearances, perhaps as a way to stay psychologically functional. People judged them relentlessly. Some accused them of exploiting publicity. Others defended them as parents trapped in unimaginable trauma. The truth was probably more complicated. Grief affects people differently. Some collapse emotionally, others become robotic. Some cry constantly, others appear strangely calm. The McCanns' composure alienated many viewers, but investigators in multiple countries eventually acknowledged there was insufficient evidence to charge them. Officially, the case remained unsolved. For years, the investigation drifted. Leads dried up. Sightings around the world proved false. People claimed Madeleine was seen in Morocco, Belgium, Australia, even the United States. None were confirmed. Then, more than a decade later, German investigators made a shocking announcement. They had identified a new prime suspect, a drifter and convicted sex offender named Christian Bruckner. Christian Bruckner was a career criminal with a horrifying history: burglary, drug trafficking, sexual assault, crimes against children. He had lived in the Algarve region around the time Madeleine disappeared. Even more chilling, phone records allegedly placed him near Praia da Luz on the night she vanished. Witnesses claimed he spoke about wanting to catch something small and use it for days. German prosecutors publicly stated they believed Madeleine was dead. For the first time in years, investigators sounded confident. But confidence wasn't the same as proof. Bruckner's life read like the biography of a predator hiding in society's shadows. He drifted across Europe, living in vans and abandoned properties. People who knew him described him as manipulative and disturbing. He reportedly bragged about crimes. Neighbors recalled strange behavior. Investigators connected him to break-ins at hotels and holiday apartments, exactly the kind of places tourists stayed. Some detectives theorized Madeleine's disappearance was opportunistic. Perhaps Bruckner entered the apartment intending to steal valuables. Then he encountered a sleeping child. What happened next remains uncertain, but prosecutors hinted they possessed evidence too disturbing to reveal publicly. Rumors circulated about videos, photographs, or digital communications. Still, years later, no murder charge has officially been filed, and that uncertainty keeps the mystery alive. Part of the Madeleine McCann mystery isn't just about the disappearance itself. It's about the emotional war surrounding it. People projected their own fears onto the case. Parents imagined losing a child in seconds. Investigators feared catastrophic mistakes. Journalists chased ratings and sensational headlines. Online communities transformed into digital mobs. Some people became convinced the parents were guilty and refused to reconsider. Others believed authorities scapegoated grieving parents instead of catching a predator. The case stopped being just an investigation. It became a global psychological phenomenon. Everyone had a theory. Everyone believed they saw something others missed. The role of the media cannot be overstated. News organizations turned Madeleine into one of the most recognizable missing children in modern history. But saturation coverage created dangerous side effects. False sightings overwhelmed investigators. Conspiracy theories spread faster than verified facts. Tabloids competed for sensationalism. Some newspapers published wildly speculative accusations against the McCanns. Others portrayed Portuguese police as incompetent. The relationship between British and Portuguese authorities became increasingly strained. At times, it felt less like a criminal investigation and more like an international blame game. Yet beneath all the noise remained one undeniable fact: a child vanished. And someone knew exactly what happened. Even today, people obsess over apartment 5A. Could an abductor really have entered unnoticed? Was the patio door unlocked? Could someone have watched the family's nightly routine? The apartment's layout fueled endless debate. Some investigators believed the children were visible from outside. Others argued the abduction theory required impossible precision. One terrifying possibility emerged repeatedly. What if Madeleine's abductor had observed the family for days, learning the parents' schedule, watching the checks, waiting for the perfect gap? If true, it would mean the crime was not random. It was calculated, predatory, patient. As the years passed, Madeleine's image changed. Age-progressed sketches imagined what she might look like as a teenager, then as a young adult. People who grew up seeing her face on television struggled to process how much time had passed. For Kate and Jerry McCann, time became its own kind of torture. No funeral, no body, no certainty. Psychologists often describe ambiguous loss as one of the cruelest forms of grief, because hope never completely dies, and neither does fear. Every unknown woman in a crowd, every social media rumor, every anonymous tip. Could it be her? Or another false lead? Authorities across multiple countries continue investigating the case. German prosecutors still maintain that Christian Bruckner is the primary suspect. Searches have been conducted around reservoirs and abandoned structures in Portugal. Investigators reportedly examined old hard drives, vehicles, and witness testimony connected to Bruckner's movements. But the absence of definitive public evidence frustrates many observers. Some believe authorities know more than they can legally disclose. Others worry the truth may never be proven in court. That uncertainty defines the entire Madeleine McCann case. It exists in a strange space between evidence and speculation, between hope and tragedy, between mystery and near certainty. The disappearance permanently changed how parents travel with children. Holiday resorts strengthened security measures. Media ethics surrounding missing children came under scrutiny. International cooperation between police agencies evolved. The case also revealed the terrifying power of public obsession. Millions of strangers felt emotionally connected to a little girl they never met, because Madeleine represented something universal, the fear that ordinary life can shatter instantly. One open window, one missed moment, one predator crossing paths with one vulnerable child, and everything changes forever. Officially, Madeleine McCann remains missing. Unofficially, many investigators now believe she was abducted and murdered shortly after disappearing from apartment 5A. Whether Christian Bruckner will ever face charges remains uncertain. Without a body, prosecution becomes extraordinarily difficult. And so the case lingers, unresolved in the eyes of the law, but emotionally unresolved for millions around the world. The mystery continues to haunt investigators because it feels solvable, not ancient, not impossible, just incomplete. Somewhere, perhaps buried in forgotten evidence or hidden inside a predator's memory, lies the final piece of the puzzle. And until that peace emerges, the world will keep asking the same question it asked on that warm Portuguese night in 2007, where is Madeleine McCann? If you enjoyed this deep dive true crime story from Crime Unmasked, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more gripping unsolved mysteries, disappearances, criminal investigations, and shocking true crime documentaries. Share your theories in the comments below. Do you believe Madeleine McCann's case will ever truly be solved?